Good evening, and welcome to the business meeting of the Board of Education, January 22nd, 2026. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to open it up first to anybody that wants to speak on the listed agenda items. Please, as a reminder, this is a meeting of the Board of Education that's open to the public. If you wish to comment at this meeting, we ask that you please be aware of all the protocols for public comment. The protocols are listed on the back of the public agendas that are available in the meeting room. They're also posted on signage in the meeting room as well as on the district website. Anybody want to speak? Don't mean to scare you off. Okay, then we're going to move to the consent agenda. Mr. Alvario?
Resolved to approve the consent agenda, items 2 through 10, is presented to the board at this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments?
The agenda includes approval of the previous meeting minutes, CSE, CPSE placements, additional or unpaid hours for various staff members, approval for Dr. Luff to attend the NISCA's 2026 Winter Institute in March, approval of a grant from the Putnam Valley Education Foundation. They're donating $350 to the high school for the Art and Aspire contest. Approval of 2 contracts, one of which is a health and welfare with Harrison School District. One is Educational Data New York Cooperative for the next school year. Approval of a homebound instructor, an overnight high school science research trip in February, and approval of the 2026 spring coaches.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolutions pass. So we're going to move into our presentations. The first one is going to be on athletics, correct, Dr. Luff?
Correct. So, with no further ado, we'll invite up Mr. Robert Webb, our Director of Physical Education, Health, and Athletics. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is this an internet-based presentation?
It is.
Just making sure.
I was going to have a joke about Mike Lee, but not tonight.
If the internet goes down, you're going to have to act out the remaining portion of the...
I'll do my best. Good evening. Tonight I will highlight many of our program successes from the past academic year, provide an update on the current year's successes, and discuss proposed budgetary information for the upcoming year. As a department, our focus remains on the development of the whole student through physical and health education, as well as interscholastic athletics. Department staffing. Our staffing levels remain consistent with no changes for the upcoming year. We will continue to have 1 administrator, 1 senior office assistant, and 1 athletic trainer. In physical and health education, we have 8 teachers across our 3 buildings, with 2 physical education teachers in each building, 1 health education teacher here at the high school, and then a split physical and health education teacher between the middle and the high school. Across the district, we have 4 nurses, 1 at each building, as well as a floating nurse, and we have 1 seasonal game day coordinator, as well as 67 coaching positions throughout the 3 seasons. Since it's my first time here this year, a little review from the 24-25 athletics. Last year was another historic year for Putnam Valley. Most importantly, our district was recognized as a New York State Public High School Athletic Association School of Excellence for the first time. This honor was awarded because over 75% of our varsity programs maintained a GPA of 90 or above during their respective seasons. Continuing from an academic standpoint, we had 247 Scholar Athlete Awards, as well as 1 Con Edison Scholar Athlete Award winner. From an athletic standpoint, we had 113 all-league selections, 37 all-section, and 7 all-state selections. We had 4 team sectional champions, 2 individual section champions, and 6 league titles. We had 1 regional champion, 3 state championship team finalists, and 3 individual podium finishes at the state level. We continue to offer a wide range of interscholastic athletic programs at the varsity, JV, and modified level. We also continue to merge sport offerings with other districts when needed, and those are indicated on the charts with an M next to the sport. During the fall, we offer our game day cheerleading, cross country for both boys and girls, field hockey, football, boys and girls soccer, swimming for girls, which is merged with Mayapack and Carmel, and volleyball. During the winter season, we have boys and girls basketball, our competitive cheerleading team, ice hockey for boys and girls, boys swimming, wrestling, and indoor track for both boys and girls. And finally, during the spring season, we offer baseball, flag football, boys golf, lacrosse for both boys and girls, softball, and track and field for boys and girls.
Coach, where do you do the ice hockey?
Ice hockey for girls, it's about 16 merged teams. So this year we have 16 schools. There's 3 teams in Section 1, one from the southern portion of Westchester, one in Rockland, and then the northern school. So we're part of the Northern Avalanche, which is hosted out of Brewster High School.
Okay.
For boys hockey at the modified and varsity level, we merge with Lakeland Panis, but there's also members of Hendrick Hudson and Haldane in that program.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. All over. They go to different locations. They go to Brewster Ice Arena, but they're also across the river
Yeah, I figured.
as well.
I'm an expert in this field. As a parent of 2 hockey players on the same Putnam Valley merge team. Primarily they practice either at Bear Mountain or Brewster, and a vast majority of their competitions are at those 2 locations as well. Occasionally they go further. They've actually done a better job of scheduling all of the games sort of in a regional based, so to try to minimize the travel. But we've been down in White Plains, we've been down to Mount Vernon, we've been up to Walling Trinity, so there's still it's quite a bit of travel.
Yeah,
There's
Thank
not
you.
a lot of ice skating rinks in the area.
right, that's the problem.
Another big thing for us this year was we successfully rolled out Final Forms, which is our new athletics registration platform. It's been a highly effective tool for our school nurses, our athletic trainer, and our coaches to streamline data in addition to eligibility, equipment inventory and management, our coaching certification tracking, daily attendance, state reporting, and roster management. Final Forms has also become a great communication tool for our district and for our department. As of earlier this week, year to date, we've already generated over 14,000 emails to communicate with our families. So a lot of emails are being sent out. With Final Forms, we also get a great look at our participation and registration numbers. Overall, in the fall season, we had 314 student athletes registered to participate in grades 7 through 12, which is approximately 41%. We had 248 this winter, around 33%. And then overall, to date, we had 483 students register for at least one sport, which is about 64% of our middle, 7th and 8th grade and high school population. So those are really high numbers, and it's great to see because we haven't even made it to our spring season yet. Looking at those numbers from a grade level standard, our younger grades have excellent participation numbers. Our 8th grade so far this year, 80% of them have registered for at least one sport. Participation is high across all of our grade levels. As you can see, 50% or higher participation at each grade level.
You know, you have to give credit to the seniors because they are, especially those involved in the IB program, the International Baccalaureate program, science research, the plays, the concerts, and there's so much pulling. So that's a pretty impressive statistic. More than half still are involved in sports.
Our high school athletes are very busy, and they're very committed both to their academics, as we can see with their grades, as well as to the programs. A mid-year update on where athletics stand right now, just looking at mostly our fall data and information. We had 102 individual scholar athletes this fall. We were 100%. All of our fall varsity programs were recognized as scholar athlete teams, meaning they all had a 90 or above. We also had another one of our athletes was recognized, Izzy Picard, on the state finalist volleyball team as a Con Ed Scholar Athlete. So this is our second Con Ed Scholar Athlete over the last 2 years. So prior to James Apostolico during the winter season last year and Izzy Picard this fall, 2009 was the last time that we had a Con Ed Scholar Athlete Award winner. So really impressive what our kids are doing. During the fall, our game day cheer also was state champions. We had one regional champion in volleyball, and both were sectional champions. We had 3 state championship appearances, again, game day cheer and volleyball, but we also sent a swimmer as part of that merged swimming team. We're currently in the middle of our winter season, and we hope to bring many more positive updates in the near future. While we do like to recognize our student athletes and our teams for their athletic success, we also continue to focus on the Inside Out initiative, which transforms coaching from purely performance-based to purpose-based. The goal is really to build a culture of belonging where our student athletes grow socially and emotionally. We continue to ask our coaches 4 key questions at the beginning and end of each season. Why do I coach? Why do I coach the way that I do? How does it feel to be coached by me? And how do I define success? We also have encouraged our coaches to do 15-second check-ins at practice with all the student athletes. These are quick check-ins where coaches can connect with our student athletes on a personal level to make a meaningful difference in their lives. Another new initiative for this year is Tiger Talk. So Tiger Talk is something that we've asked our coaches to facilitate 3 to 5 minutes in small group discussions with our athletes during practice once a week. Our goal is to build empathy, strengthen team culture, support leadership development, reinforce values beyond competition, and it aligns directly to our district goal of resilience. A couple examples include, how do we handle adversity as a team, and how can we build resilience? What does accountability mean to me as a student? So we like to have those discussions once a week. I'd like our coaches to work with different groups, not the same kids in each group. And we have these discussions each week. We don't ask them to bring anything back to us, just to have these discussions. In addition to providing opportunities for our student athletes to talk and reflect during Tiger Talk, this winter we've also placed an emphasis on leadership. Our coaches are encouraged to take a coaching student leadership course, and we ask that our captains take Becoming a Leader and Leading Others through the NFHS.
Good evening and welcome to the work session.
This spring, I plan to launch a Captain's Council, where I hope to meet with all of our varsity captains to discuss things such as resilience and sportsmanship, and to ensure student voice plays an important role in the decision-making for our
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Speaking on student leadership, I would like to highlight Julia DeMichael, who's one of our senior 3-sport athletes on the volleyball, wrestling, and track and field teams. Julia is the Section 1 female representative for the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Student Athlete Advisory Committee.
As a reminder, this is a meeting of the Board of Education that is open to the public.
Chosen to
If
sit
you
on
wish
this
to
committee,
comment at this
which
meeting, we
ensures
ask
that
that you
the
please be
voice of
aware
student
of all the
athletes from
protocols
Section
for
1
public
and Putnam
comment.
Valley is heard at the
Protocols
state
are listed
level.
on the back of the public agendas that are available in the meeting room. They are also posted on
Now to
signage
the
in this
exciting
meeting
part,
room as well as on the
looking at the
district website.
budget-related components. So our budget's structured
Agenda
into
item?
4 areas to support our students
Okay.
and our programs. We have our
Needs-
stipends
but
and
we're gonna be
hourly
consistent.
component, which is our coaches and our
We're
game
going
day
to start
support
with the
staff.
consent agenda. Sam,
We have our
please.
contractual
Resolved
component,
on
which
the
includes
recommendation
things
of
such
the
as
superintendent of
coaching
schools
conference and
to
state
approve
dues, our
consent
reconditioning of
agenda
uniforms
items
and
number
safety
2
equipment,
through
the events and tournaments we
Questions or
participate in,
comments?
and it also
The
includes
consent
professional
agenda
development for our
includes
physical
approval of
and
the
health
December
education.
11th meeting minutes,
We also have our
substitute listing
BOCES
updates,
fees, which are related to our
CSE
Section 1
placements,
dues,
additional or
all of our
unpaid
officials
hours
for
for
our
various
games,
staff members.
our huddle
We're
streaming
extending the
service,
dates for a
and the
lever
Final
placement
Final
teacher.
Forms
We're appointing the
platform that we're
homebound
using for
and
student athlete
homebound
registration.
instructor. We're updating the
And finally,
substitute
we have our
salary schedule,
materials
which
and
reflects
supplies, which
changes in the
includes
New York State
uniforms,
minimum wage.
game and practice equipment, safety equipment, and all the supplies for our athletic trainer. Our priorities in terms of budget remain the same. We really want to provide programs that give opportunity and promote student well-being. We want to ensure equitable access across all of our programs. We want to maintain adequate and safe facilities and equipment, and sustainability is important. We want to utilize our resources efficiently through state contracts and ed data to maximize their impact in a sustainable way. So in our anticipated expenses for the upcoming year, we do anticipate some slight increases across a few areas. Our coaching stipends will increase with the PVFT contract. There are increases in the Section 1 and official fees, and that's negotiated with Section 1 and BOCES. And then materials and supplies across all programs just continue to increase. While those costs do increase, we try to offset costs the best that we can, and we rely on the support of our booster clubs, team fundraisers, and revenue from our tournaments. The Putnam Valley Superstore and the facility rentals to local programs also provide additional revenue to our programs as well as to the district. Last year, with the support of our booster and through a lot of fundraising, especially with our cheerleaders, we raised significant funds that our student athletes greatly benefited from. Physical and health education. This year we made a positive addition to our K-12 physical and health education classes by implementing the program platform as a curriculum support tool. It's a customizable, evidence-based program that provides our teachers with a framework of knowledge and skills that align to the New York State physical education and health education standards. One of the most valuable features of the platform is the data collection, which allows us to refine instruction, to make sure that we're meeting student outcomes, and we're continually increasing student engagement. We're also continuing to explore and evaluate a variety of health education curriculums, with our objective being to identify a program that not only aligns to the standards, but specifically meets the needs of our students at Putnam Valley. We believe our best teachers are lifelong learners, and to support that, our physical education and health education teachers are all active members in New York State AFERD. This membership provides our staff with regular access to content-specific research, professional publication, and a network of experts across the state. In November of this past year, 2025, our physical education and health education teachers attended the Southeastern Zone AFERD Conference, which was an opportunity for our staff to collaborate and participate in professional development with hundreds of teachers from the region. They brought back innovative instructional strategies to our classroom and to our students. Looking ahead, we also have a specialized PD coming up in the coming months from Welcome to Wellness. This is going to focus on fostering growth and resilience, aligning again with our district goal, but it's also specific in terms of physical and health education. And the last thing is some of our upcoming events. This weekend we have our competitive cheerleading Tiger tournament. It's going to be Saturday, not the snow day, because it's going to be snowing on Sunday. We have a great turnout for this. It's a
Wait,
great.
did you predict it was going to snow that?
No,
day?
that was for when it snowed Saturday, but we got lucky. We have 44 performances from over 40 different teams this Saturday. So from around 9:30 to about 4:30, there will be different performances here in the gym. And then our last thing, which we actually have two of our flag football student athletes here with us. Next week, there's a Girls and Women in Sports Day at MetLife Stadium. It's the inaugural event for the New York Giants, and hosting this for Section 1 flag football programs. Girls from approximately 30 Section 1 schools will be in attendance at the event. We'll be sending 5 of our senior flag football athletes to it. They're all scholar athletes, and it's going to give them an opportunity to go to MetLife to hear from and network with women leaders in the sports industry. So they'll be doing that next Wednesday. And that is all I have for you. Any questions?
Excellent, Coach.
Thank you so much for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was especially impressed with the Tiger Talk and the Inside Out. I thought that was such
Yeah.
a powerful initiative, and so good for the students. I was going to ask the students, like, do you feel like it's helping, or is it adding something to your playing, or?
My team is already very close. Like we already we talk about that stuff like every week.
Okay.
But I mean, our coach, like, even like sometimes like we don't go like right on the prompts, but like we're always like talking about like how we can be better and like how we can like work better as a team.
That's good. That's good. And congratulations on the scholar athletes. I think that's amazing.
You're not kidding. Yeah. Congratulations. Code,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that you've expanded a lot of different things in the program, the health aspect, as well as the physical and the competitive end. That's impressive, very impressive. Thank you.
I can't take all the credit for the Tiger Talk. Actually, last year when I went to the Athletic Administrators Conference, the Henhut AD at the time gave a presentation on a similar thing he was doing there, and now he's over in Carmel. So I got to give a lot of credit to him.
But that's how we learn from others. Yeah, outstanding.
Absolutely. I really love the emphasis on scholar athlete. If I were to have tallied the number of times you've said that tonight, it's well over 20 times. And that is so important that we ensure that our kids are getting a well-rounded education, that they understand that both on the field and off the field matter, and that the lessons you learn on the field speak to every other part of your life. I think that is so incredible. So thank you for maintaining that focus. I also think it really sets the bar. It's important that our kids get an opportunity to go to that Con Ed dinner and get that award. It's one of the highlights for me to see that, because I remember my own friends in high school getting that award and seeing the look on their face when they had worked so hard for something. It's important that we honor our kids and really give them the platform to be able to succeed in that way. And I feel like Sam said, you've taken that to the next level for us, so thank you. And then the last thing was the purposeful coaching. I am so excited about that idea. I do have a question. How often do you meet with the coaches to have those conversations with them about being reflective about their coaching? That question of what does it feel like to be coached by me? How does that work, that structure?
So I see our coaches on a daily basis. I try to make my rounds. I'm here most days till 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So there's opportunities for me to communicate with them informally pretty regularly. But when I meet with them, this year I did individual program meetings with our coaches prior to the season. So we talked about those 4 questions. And then when I do their evaluations at the end of the season, I actually put those 4 things right on their evaluation. And it's really just a talking point to see how we continue to grow. And again, it's more about the purpose as opposed to the process. Yeah. I tell them all, it's great. I love when they bring home state titles. But things like sportsmanship awards, those things are great.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that all of those foci are just so incredibly important. Thank you for bringing that to the center of our program.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, just like everyone said, thank you for your leadership and teaching collaboration and leadership within the teams. That's so very important. Flag football, this last year was our first year?
So last year we did have a team, but they weren't part of Section 1 because we started it late. So they were independent last year. So this year will be their first opportunity to compete and potentially play for a sectional championship.
Great.
And still a lot of interest in.
Last year we had over 30 girls come out for the team.
Ooh, so great.
Yeah.
Couple things I just want to confirm, because the chatter comes around every budget season, so I just want to hear from you that the renewal of equipment and uniforms is consistent between boys sports and girls sports.
Yeah, so certain equipment like helmets, for example, we send those out because they have to get a certain certification. But just like for softball where they have helmets, we send those out. When we look at catcher's equipment for baseball, softball, all of that goes out. A lot of our uniforms we do in-house in terms of cleaning, but anything that has a safety requirement, we send it out 100%.
And can you speak about some of the initiatives at the elementary school that are occurring?
So one of the things that we don't have interscholastic sports at the elementary level. It's only 7 to 12. So one of the things this year was that platform program, and a big reason after talking to Jackie that we went with that was because it does have an elementary component to it. So it's a little different. The high school would be more fitness-based, where at the elementary level it's more activities. So that's definitely a focus that we've had there, is trying to improve not the overall curriculum, but supports, at least for our physical education program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for your presentation. I wanted to commend many of the things that our board members have already done. I really appreciate your focus on scholar athlete. Obviously, there's different types of students competing in sports than when I competed, because I'm not sure I was ever on a team where that number of kids scored a 90 or above average. So the fact that we have that here in Putnam Valley is extremely impressive. I very much appreciate the focus you've brought to Putnam Valley around professional development, and I know that our teachers appreciate that as well. phys ed teacher will tell you that they get dragged around from one PD to the other, and not much of it pertains to what they do in their classroom each day. And I know that they appreciate the focus that you've brought in finding content-specific professional development for them, where they can work with other phys ed teachers and within platforms to offer them ideas that directly impact what happens in their classrooms. I have the feeling that next year's district goal will focus on empowerment. I don't know why, I just have that feeling. But I would love to hear more about Tiger Talk and all of these other opportunities. I think we are making huge strides in terms of empowering our student athletes to take on these leadership roles, to take on these meaningful values that they learn by taking on those roles. And I really look forward to hearing more about how that continues to grow next year, and maybe hear from some of our students regarding what they took out of it. I would love to find an opportunity to get Julia here to talk a little bit about her experience. I know we'll lose her next year, but a little bit about her experience as she's the only female sports rep for the entire section that's representing all of the students in our Section 1 at those meetings. I would love to maybe find an opportunity for her to come and talk a little bit about that experience. It's a huge accomplishment for her, and something that I'm sure it will look great on her resume. So, and I do want to acknowledge that being an athletic director, phys ed and health is a very time-consuming feat, especially for someone with a young family. And I know myself and all of the board members very much appreciate the hours, the days, oftentimes 7 days a week, to your point, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You're always here, you're always present, and that's part of the reason why our program runs as successfully as it does, because you're here and you're present. And I just wanted to acknowledge that we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
He says that even when you're not here, just to let you know that.
That's good. Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, our next presentation is technology. I feel badly that they're doing their opening of school presentation and their budget presentations kind of all at once, but, you know, we really wanted to hear clearly from them and didn't want to smash them up and give them only 3 minutes, you know, so we appreciate you waiting.
I'd love just 3 minutes.
No, Michael, we want to hear more.
Michael, I just lost internet access.
He's traumatized.
Oh, man.
So we would like to invite Mr. Michael Lee, our Director of Technology, to give his opening of school / budget presentation for the technology department.
Yes.
Welcome, Michael. Thank you.
So as Jeremy just said, I'm Mike Lee, Director of Technology. This is the technology update and budget presentation. And I'm happy to report that this has been a pretty uneventful week. So, you know, it's not bad. It's not a bad start to the week. Let's start with a quote, as I always do. The greatest danger in time of change is not change itself, but acting with yesterday's logic.
That's good.
And I guess going with the spirit of this quote, someone told me, you know, Mike, you kind of need to move on with those rockets. You've been using the rockets for like 2 years, maybe this is the 3rd year now, and you have to move on. And I'm like, but do I? Yes, you have to. Okay. So I'm going to move on from the rockets. The copies of the presentation you guys have and can follow, those will be the rockets. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a live pivot to something else. Now, I'm not a visually creative person. I can't do that. That's one of my greatest, like, non-strengths. I don't want to say weaknesses, but greatest non-strengths. My drawings are so bad they need subtitles, as an example, all right? Like, even my stick figures look surprised that they exist. So, what we're going to do, we're going to pivot a little bit. And just so you can kind of follow along what happened, Dan and I were like, well, how about this? Do you guys remember last year when we demonstrated Notebook LM? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we just kind of fed Notebook LM a little something about the district, and then we listened to a podcast with 2 people talking. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't have a podcast this year, okay? We don't have a video, but what we do have is, we took the presentation that you guys have, and you guys can see. We fed Notebook LM a little bit more information about our district, and then we were like, all right, well, let's see what it comes up with. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna present today. We didn't make any corrections, we're just gonna go with it. And so we're going to, you're gonna get all the information, but then we're also going to talk through each slide about like, how did it create what it created?
Some of us
Okay.
are upset about the podcast. I really
Oh,
enjoy it.
yeah. Well, maybe next year we could do a video. We'll do, oh no, what is this doing? Let's not do that. Okay, let's stop the slideshow. We're going to do just full screen. Okay. All right. So, I mean, look at this. This looks really professional. Technology update, elevating educational infrastructure, operational review and strategic vision. Now, it has the years. I would have put the dates, but that's okay. It's also 25, 26, maybe a little bit like 26, 7. Oh no, did I just, was that a little cringe? That was a little cringe, wasn't it? All right, we're not gonna. So part of the information that we fed Notebook LM was our district goals, and it created this. It drew the graphics, it just created the whole thing. So a lot of what you're going to see in this presentation demonstrates how what we're going to do and what we do makes us more resilient as a district from a technology standpoint. Technology in service of the vision. Now remember, it created all this. I didn't know this. Okay. Yeah, we fed it the information. Yeah, Dan and I fed it the information. All right, operational excellence and upgrades. So the high school, we completely redesigned the website from the ground up to make it more community-focused and readable. The high school, they really like it. Power School and Google Sync. Now this is something that the teachers apparently really love. What they used to have to do is they would take their Power School rosters and they would have to build, you know, their classrooms in Google Classroom, and then they would do the grading, perhaps in Google Classroom, and then what? Then you have to copy your grades back into Power School, right? You have to like actually type it back into Power School. Now what this does is it syncs everything. So now the rosters just go like right into Google Classroom. They could do whatever they need to do in Google Classroom, grade in Google Classroom, and then put the grades right back into Power School, right? So that eliminates errors and it saves a lot of time.
Yes.
All right, now check this one out. Lunch system integration. It says seamless integration of Heartland Mosaic with Power School. Yes, well, we've had that for a couple of years. What's missing from this? Does anyone know? Okay, so in the other presentation, we have down that we did that with Garrison, right? It left out one of the key details in this, right? So that's just something to point out, right? When using an AI tool like this, you really do need to go through and make sure you read every detail, because you could very easily look at this and be like, oh, look how professional it looks, and just kind of move on without realizing it's like it's missing the key detail, right? We did this integration with Garrison. Okay, so now the Tiger Tracker. This is something really cool. It's a custom-built community service hub. So this keeps track of the community service hours that the students have to do. What's cool about it is this was completely designed and built in-house by Dan. Say hi, Dan. Hi, Dan. Yep. Hi, Dan. All right. So Dan built it all, and this replaces some fairly expensive software like Passport for Good, for example. Now, notice the computer screen, right? It says Tiger Tracker Overview. Then it says screenshots of Tiger Tracker. What Notebook LM apparently did was it saw some of the pictures that we loaded in for Tiger Tracker, but it didn't use any of the pictures that we that we wanted to use for Tiger Tracker. What it did was it saw the very first page and said, "Oh, that's good enough. Let's just put that in." So then that's what you see in that computer screen, the very first page of some of the screenshots that we wanted to show. But rest assured, here we go. Tiger Tracker empowers student ownership. As you can see, it tells you the number of hours that you that have left. No, the approved hours. It tells you the number of hours that you have, and it gives you a little chart to look at your progress. You could also find opportunities. So when people type in, volunteer or service needs, you can go and find those, and it's very easy to submit. Now, if we analyze the page, Notebook LM actually did a very cool thing here. These 3 screenshots were actually just all on one single page, right? So Notebook LM went in, analyzed the single page, created the slide, and was able to zoom in and crop out 3 separate pictures, right? And identified what each of those pictures represent, right? It did it all on its own. Like, we didn't tell it to do that. So that's kind of cool. All right, so Smart Pass. This is the digital hall pass software that's being utilized by the high school now. It's instructional focus. It reduces loitering and it gets students back to class. It also has a kind of a cool feature where if you know that 2 people should not be out at the same time, it won't let them be out at the same time. From a technology standpoint, we received this request in, I want to say it was like late August for a September rollout. So what's involved with this from a technology standpoint is you need all the rosters to be fully like real-time synchronized between PowerSchool and this software. So we had to figure that out in a matter of maybe like 2 weeks and then get this trained and online and ready to go. And so we were able to do it. So there we go. Okay, so looking at some of the security initiatives that we have. District-wide, we implemented our multi-factor authentication. And this is in full compliance with your New York State regulations. It lowers the risk of breaches, ransomware, and it controls our cyber insurance costs. We have new visitor management systems around the district. It's a Verkada check-in system, and there's an optional touchless feature. I'm not sure if anyone's actually using that feature, but it is enabled. It enables guests to sign in with their phone if they want to. They could scan the QR code on their phone. It's got integrated screening and digital logs, and it has it basically creates an enhanced guest experience. Now on the surveillance end, we're piloting a new video recorder, or if you want to call it that, new DVR system. It's centralized, it scales very well, and one of the best parts is it doesn't come with any recurring license fees. And when you're scrolling through the video, so if anyone's ever had to do like security, like search for security footage, it's extremely low latency video scrubbing, so you could get to your results a lot quicker.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Where is is the surveillance in every school? Is it outside? Is it inside?
Yes, inside and outside, but not in classrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, so the public areas. Yep, yep. So this is kind of nice. It made a chart to look at how we're maximizing the value for to the taxpayer by keeping a lot of our devices alive for 8 years. We recently replaced 8-year-old student devices with new MacBook Airs. Now, what's interesting about this chart is we didn't tell it that the industry standard lifespan was 4 years. It inserted that. So, I don't know if that's true or not. It seems true. We'll kind of go with that. But what is true is we kept these laptops alive for 8 years. So I guess that flag's pretty good. All right. Now this single slide kind of blows my mind a little bit. So I'm going to escape for a second here. I'm going to go back into the other one. And we're going to take a look at the 2 slides that this replaces, right? Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, so, look at this one. Yeah, that's okay. And then look at the next one. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. But this is a lot more clear, I would think. You can see your completed upgrades that already happened. But look what it did for the road ahead. So we have our wireless access point replacements. That's what gives us wireless access. Look, it created a graphic to represent in progress. And then it color-coded, we're going to utilize E-rate funds for these replacements. Same with the switch replacements, which are in progress, and it used the color-coded E-rate funds, right? Now, we also have firewall replacement coming up. So it created this icon, but look what it did. We're going to utilize E-rate funding and or smart schools money for that. And it created an icon that represents 2 funding sources. Not bad. All right. Now, why support infrastructure? Supporting infrastructure is completely equal. It benefits everybody in the same way, right? Equally. It allows seamless collaboration for students and teachers, enables distance learning and computer-based testing, and it's the backbone of a district-wide security program. Now, I have to pause here because what I would say, or what word I would change in this here is I wouldn't say available capital funds. I wouldn't say that. I would say available aid, right? But again, remember I said this is all AI generated, Notebook LM, and we were just going to roll with it and see what it presented. So this is what it gave us. We didn't use the word capital at all. It inserted that. So again, when you're using an AI tool to create a presentation like this, you really kind of have to know what it is you're talking about. Because you could put something like this out for the public to see, right? You could make this available on a website and people be like, ooh, available capital fund. No, it's really available aid. This is the aid that we have available to us to use for our upgrades. And these are some of our recurring operating expenses just, annually, just every year. This represents the IPA that we take out every year. This is to refresh MacBooks and Chromebooks. Every, like last year, $285,000. But the budget impact of that is $65,000. Those numbers are pretty much equal to last year. Now this is interesting. This is how it built our department structure and staffing. Now, I wouldn't draw it this way. I kind of like mixing myself in with everybody, but this is what it came up with. What's also kind of cool though is it highlighted, because it thought it was important, to say that the BOCES Junior Computer Specialist is an aidable position. So it highlighted that. And these are the people behind the technology. Now, let's read the quote for a second. Working together to achieve the best possible for our students. I I don't really know what that means. To achieve the best possible what? Okay, so let's go back to this one for a second, because I kind of like this quote that I had. Where is it? Okay, so coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. And if there's something that we love to do in the technology department, it's working with the students, staff, and faculty to achieve the best possible for our students, whatever that best possible is. All right, I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mike, a question about staffing. I just want to make sure I'm clear. It's consistent year over year, or are you adding in the BOCES Junior?
Oh, yeah. So it's consistent. So we have, you know what's funny? The staffing is identical to last year, except this here used to be 3.6, but now it's 3.4, because we were able to retain Laura
Right.
As a 0.4.
on a part-time basis.
And you're planning to do that next year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Michael, in your slide about equity, do we have equal access for kids to use computers at home? Like does every family have access to the internet at home? Or are there homes that don't have that?
Well, I would say that most families have reliable access to internet.
Okay.
There are some that don't. I know that we have in the past provided internet services for
I
some of
remember
these
that during
families.
COVID. I just wondered
Yeah.
if that was still a problem or,
As far as I know, we provide access to one family.
okay.
I think when we surveyed families during COVID, it was, 98% of families had reported having
Okay.
reliable internet access, and the few that didn't, we were able to supplement that. I don't know that we've done another detailed survey, but when it's brought to our attention, I know we do have a student out right now who is utilizing district provided internet access to complete her work, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Michael, I like that. I like that, the AI created your slides. Compared to last year, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
Because I'm a fanatic with the advanced Alexa. Sometimes
Yep.
I have an hour
Yep.
talk with that disc. No,
He's lonely.
I'm dead serious.
He's
How he
lonely.
gets his weather reports.
We
find him a
had a
friend.
20-minute talk today about Sinners, the movie that was nominated now, 16 Academy Awards,
Yep,
the most
yep.
in the history of the
Yep,
Academy.
yep.
And it just flowed
Yep.
like a river.
Yep.
Unbelievable, like
Yeah,
I'm talking
it
to you
is.
right now.
It is. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
And
yeah.
that really wows me. This is good. This is very good because the creature
Right,
created that.
Right.
But I like the talking.
Oh yeah. Oh, me too. Me too. But I figured last year, since we did audio, I figured this year we'll do a little visual, and maybe next year we could do video.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
There you go.
So stay tuned for that.
No, but it's good.
And which presentation is going to be on the website for parents to see if they're looking? for
Oh,
like-
not this one. The one that you have.
That we have.
The one that you have. Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to show you guys? Okay, so we did this, but then we were like, you know what? Like, what would happen if we just ran it again? Okay, so take a look at this. This is what we just went through. You kind of, remember what that looks like. Now check this out. Check this out. You're gonna be like, what? Okay, this is the same thing, the same information, just run again. Look, that's completely different. It made a completely different presentation,
Holy cow.
right?
Wow.
Look at it. Look at this. And it invented this graphic.
Look at that.
Yeah. Right, look at this.
Oh, my
Right?
God.
Completely different. So we had to choose. We were like, well, which one of these do we want to go with? Here's another one. Here's another one. We just ran it again. Look at that. You know, so somebody could take their information. No, I'm going to run, how about I run it 10 times? I'm just going to pick the best one. Yeah, you can. You can pick the best one. But remember all those mistakes that we found.
Yes.
Right.
And what's interesting about this is it makes it into a PDF, so you can't go back and edit it, right? So what it produces,
You have to use
that's
that.
it. You have to use that. Maybe one day it'll produce something where you could just load it right into Google Slides and you can edit it. But as it is now, these are just PDFs. I mean, look at this. Look how pro this looks. It just made this. Look.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
When are we going to hire AI to be the director?
I don't know. I don't know if I trust it yet because it very confidently will tell you the wrong thing.
So, Michael, you expect your expenses, you said, to be consistent year over year, except for, say, contractual increases?
Wait, say that
Your
again?
expenses, you said you estimate to be consistent year over year, except for contractual increases?
Yes, oh, yes. And so those contractual increases would be anything that's kind of prescribed to us by BOCES. So, yeah, but, I mean, we went over the budget I think it was last week or so, and it was pretty even. Yeah.
I have a question, since we're sort of talking about that. I don't know if this is a you or a Grace question. Are E-rate funds and smart schools bonds separate from what is given to us by what we take from the taxpayers?
Yes, kind of. So Smart Schools bond money was money that the government put out there saying, this is money that you could use to upgrade your schools, and those funds never expire. E-rate funds, what you do is you outlay the money, and then you get your aid ratio back. So you could get, so we have 270, whatever that was, available in aid for us to receive back.
So
Now,
what we're taking from the taxpayers is just that 65 number? Just that 65,000? The rest is through bonds and aid?
well, what,
So essentially, the way it works is on the expense side, we have to use our regular funds to purchase this stuff in advance, right? So we're using
then it-
taxpayer monies to purchase this. What we get back is aid from the state. So from the expense side, yes, it's coming out of our general fund, which is either state aid or taxpayer funds coming in. But then we get revenue back on that goes back into our general fund, which we then use to offset other expenditures.
so anything we buy is essentially 65% off.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
It's like a discount, but they're going to mail you the money back next year,
Yeah.
as opposed to getting it off at the register.
I have one more positive that I just want to share before everybody gets up. I really love the new community service thing. When I was on the PTA, we often offered opportunities for students to come and do childcare and things like that. And it was a little bit difficult to offer it as an opportunity. We didn't know exactly how to get it off. Oh, how are you doing in childcare? Like most 15-year-olds aren't checking, our Facebook. So I really like that it shows the opportunities. We require a lot of community service hours, and I like that it tracks it. I like that it shows opportunities for people to be proactive instead of, come May, they're like, oh my God, I need 25 hours. How am I going to get it? I think it's wonderful. I
Oh,
agree.
great. Yeah.
Great.
So I wanted to ask just about teacher training around tools that are using generative AI and what's that been looking like lately. I don't think we've heard much about that topic this year.
Yeah.
And so, I just asked Jackie, how many people, like teachers, are really using this tool,
Right,
this one particular
right,
tool that we've purchased
right.
for them. And so, just a little bit about what that's looking like because of the fact that AI does make mistakes, and we want to ensure that
Right.
teachers are able to use the tools, but wisely.
Yep. So, I forgot to make a slide of the training that Keith Fury and I conducted earlier in the year. So what we did was we conducted a training. I think it was a 20-hour training on school AI, and the teachers who attended that training, we took them through how to set everything up through school AI, and through how to use it in your classroom. And what I just demonstrated here, Notebook LM, that's actually free. So there's we didn't have to purchase
Okay.
anything. So this opportunity was made available to anybody in the district who wanted to take it. And so anyone who wanted to take it, they signed up and then, took our course. We're planning to hold another one for anyone who maybe wasn't able to make the first one. And we're just going to keep training people on the tools or any new tools that come up.
I think it's great that you've offered opportunities. I would certainly hope, Jackie, I'm sure you can speak to this, but just that in the future that there will be like mandatory training that people will need to go through to understand the tools and understand the pros and the cons.
So I can speak a little bit to that. Thanks to our wonderful Future of Education team, of which Mike is a part. We've been doing extensive AI work, both in the district and beyond, for the past 2.5 years. So we have had superintendent conference day trainings for AI for the entire faculty of all 3 buildings. Everyone's had experience with different AI tools, some of which do come with fees, many of which are free or were free at the time. We piloted School AI this year to give a handful of teachers an opportunity to learn from Mike and Keith how to use it, and then, of course, apply it to their classroom. And after their experiences with it, the Future Education team will gather some data, see if it's something worth investing in for more of the secondary classrooms. And I know Jen Bruno is also working with AI in different ways, but less so with the elementary students. But we have had trainings. We also partner a lot with BOCES and Teacher Center and other type of organizations to send teachers to trainings in AI, to have them engage in after-school in-service programs with AI. So we have had teachers engaged in this work now for about 2.5 years or so.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
And what are we doing to educate the students for AI?
So that's where a really great platform like School AI comes into play, because the teacher has a lot of control, whereas with something like Notebook LM or Gemini or ChatGPT, it's kind of open-ended, and it's very hard for us to explicitly instruct students in the use of AI because they can really go all over the place with it. School AI keeps them on track about the topic that the teacher designates as important, make sure that if the student tries to ask it other random questions, it brings it back to the topic of focus. And so that's why we felt it important to invest in something like School AI, as opposed to open up the channels of any and all AI platforms, so that our students can learn how to use it appropriately under the guidance of a teacher.
Are you teaching how to prompt AI?
That is part of it, yes. And so the teacher
Because it's really
demonstrates
important,
prompting, the students ask questions, which is part of prompting. And again, if the students are asking questions that are off topic or prompting off topic, School AI guides them back to the topic.
But like, are you prompting them like how I used to do research on, and like a research app where you would separate the words with and or and in order to get certain things. Like when you put in a prompt, if you don't word it correctly, you're not going to get the right answers. Are you teaching the students how to appropriately and accurately put in information so that the information that they're looking for comes out versus like
Yes, any
random
teacher who is
information?
using AI, and I believe that was part of the School AI training that Mike and Keith gave. Any teacher that's using AI or experienced any of our trainings has heard a lot about prompting and how to prompt, and then demonstrating for students when they use AI. I don't think there's a lot of use of AI in the classrooms because they're trying to teach students how to research on their own. But when they do, the prompting is a factor in there.
What about things like making sure the information is true? Are you like, is that part of it, teaching students how to appropriately use it, how to get it to prompt, and how to know when, like how to resource monitor or like
I think we're still climbing that hill with adults, as demonstrated by my
Yeah,
kids
no,
tonight. So I
totally.
have to just remind everybody that AI does not always give you accurate information. You need to check your sources. But yes,
Or
when
like the sources
teachers
would
are...
be Wikipedia versus like a peer-reviewed article.
Exactly. When teachers do research in general, they're always reminding students about the quality of the research they're doing, the quality of the sites they're using, how to check for information, what a reliable source looks like. That happens a lot with our librarians, and they're pushing into classrooms, our English teachers, social studies, anywhere where research is done, really. Teachers are always reminding students, no matter whether it comes from AI or not, to check their sources and make sure they're using reliable sources.
It's so hard now. I mean, my mom tried to show me a picture of a tiger bringing a teacup to somebody's front door, and I was like, no, this did not happen. No. So, but it's hard. I mean, it looks, she's like, look how cute this is. And I'm like, oh no, like a Siberian tiger is not bringing a teacup. But it's hard to spot. You can't tell. It looks like a video. So I feel like it's so important, you know,
Yeah.
to teach our children and our parents and everybody like how to spot it. And I'm not, a master at it or anything. But
And it's only going to get more
scary.
difficult
And it's only going to get more
to
difficult.
to
It's
spot
scary.
these things.
You're absolutely
I
right,
have to
Mike.
tell you, the kids are way better at it than we are.
No.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe
They
you're
are
good.
they are better at identifying when something is generated by AI, and I think it's because honestly, I feel like their eyes are trained to recognize it in a way that ours are not, because of the way that they use technology right now. I thought like Elf 3 was coming out this year because it was an AI generated thing. I sent it to my daughter. I said, we're going to go see it. She said, Mom, that was AI. So, it's scary that you can be fooled so quickly. And I think that's the scary part of AI, where
Yeah.
people can't tell
Yeah.
the difference. But the more we understand what real looks like, I think the more we'll be able to understand what counterfeit looks like. And it's just really good conversation, for our kids to be able to, not be duped in life when they leave here, if they can learn how to identify those things now. And I don't really know that there will forever be a way to identify it, but it's an important conversation to have with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're in definite strange times.
So students,
It's like the outer limits.
do you feel like we're in strange times? Like, do you feel like this is as scary to you as it is to the adults in the room?
I don't think so, because we're just used to it.
Yeah,
We've
you
been
grew
on
up
technology
with it.
forever.
Yeah, you grew up with it, absolutely.
I see students no one goes to Google anymore. Like a lot of kids just go straight to ChatGPT.
I do too.
Because in Google, you used to, they do it now, but in Google, you used to have to read through everything, find your answer. You go to ChatGPT, it tells you exactly what you need to know.
Yeah.
But even in Google, you search it up and AI has it and highlights what you have to do, so you don't have to read anything. It just gives you the answer.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
it kind of makes us more lazy, but.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT, you could follow up too. So you read and you're like, oh, but what if, and then you could just continue, your conversation.
Melissa,
yeah.
do you find that, I don't know if, Melissa?
Melissa?
Do you find that students with special needs, this is making it harder for them or easier for them? Like, is technology helping our students, all of our students?
We were just chatting about how that can really make studying so much more efficient because it's highlighted, it can be color coded, it can be bullet form, things that we didn't have growing up, right? So you have to read and search and search. So I think if you look at it through that lens of being able to provide accommodations, then yes.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be a blanket statement for everyone, of course, but.
When the technology is able to create human beings who have every single attribute of a human being on screen, and you cannot tell the difference, that's strange times. And they have done that. There's that movie star now, I forget her name, but completely AI. And they're going to be making movies. And she does interviews and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just is whacked out stuff. I mean, really, yeah, it's cool. I think we're on that roller coaster.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
We're dangerous.
All right. Yep.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
That was great.
I know I say this each year, but we're very privileged here in Putnam Valley to have a technology department that services the students in the way that ours does, whether it be through data, the integration work we saw today, whether it be infrastructure upgrades, ensuring that connectivity happens 99.9% of the time, and is also willing to go in and work with teachers and directly with students to provide professional development. Those are 3 separate departments in many school districts. And we are very much lucky and privileged here in Putnam Valley that it is all done by a single department. So huge kudos to Dan the man here, who films and edits and does all these other things. He teaches classes and works with students, and in his spare time he builds Tiger Tracker, which I hope he's now gotten the copyright for or something like that. So thank you to Michael, Dan, and everyone else on the team.
Thank you.
Very good, Michael. Thank you.
Way to go, Dan.
Oh, okay. All right, students, do you have a report for us?
The second quarter ends next Friday, January 30th. The junior class took the English Regents on Tuesday, so the rest of us had off. And as Mr. Webb said, on next Wednesday, the 28th, 5 senior flag football players will be going to MetLife for the flag football.
The flag football day. The Club Friends Network, which I'm a part of, because I'm going to the MetLife thing, I can't, but Friends Network is doing a combined day it's for an hour and a half. It's going to be like the Olympics for them, and it's going to be with Hen Hud, and it's going to be at the Inclusion Center down the road. But or it might be here because there's so many people that are going to it, and we're getting T-shirts. It's going to be so cute. But we're doing like a little mock Olympics because with different activities and all the kids in the club are going to go, and then both programs will be there.
That's cool.
And then we had building steering last week, and there's talk about doing a combined building steering from all the elementary, middle, and high school, so then everyone could communicate about what's going on. And then we're very much looking forward to the snow day that Dr. Leff is going to give us on Monday. Right?
No pressure.
Thank you.
I'm going to let you record the message. Just get your 4 a.m. voice ready to go. You can
4 a.m.
call it
voice.
in.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Love.
So I know you've heard us joke a little bit about the internet outage, but obviously the district for the last day and a half, has been working without internet access. It makes you question how life once occurred without ubiquitous access to the internet. But it had nothing to do with, it was a line that had broken out on the street. It had nothing to do with anything here on campus. It affected many in the region, not just our school district. We were just the lucky ones to be on that line, which extends from here all the way into Yorktown. But I do want to, right before this meeting, send out a thank you letter and spoke a little bit about resiliency, which is, as everyone knows, our district goal for this year. And it was with, while Michael was kind enough to email the administrators at 2:17 a.m., I can only imagine the noises his phone was making at that time for him to wake up and realize the internet had gone down, to another text message at 6-something in the morning for us to notify staff that whatever your plans were for today, change them because there will be no internet. But just speaking volumes to the employees we have here, our front offices continue to operate, our classrooms continue to provide instruction, our buildings continue to function as normal as possible, transportation, buildings and grounds, even our technology department. I just wanted to really commend everyone's efforts to ensure that instruction continued, our students remained safe, our buildings operated, and we were able to sort of weather that storm. So thank you to everyone out there for all you did over the last day and a half. The internet came back on about 10-something this morning, and now we were back to normal operating procedures. But I know it was not without some angst in order for us to get there. So I did want to acknowledge that and thank our parents. Obviously, communications went out to them as well. We had limited phone access and other things. The good news is the protocols that we've put in place, in many cases many years ago, operated as designed, right? So we never fully lost phone service. We had backups in plan. Paper copies were available for those who needed. Elementary school dismissal was still able to happen. And while, yes, more work and probably more stress, we were able to accomplish what we needed to get done. So thank you to everyone. As I know we had mentioned, high school had their concerts. Last week was chorus, this week was band. I was able to attend the band concert last evening. Tremendous efforts on behalf of 3 different bands, our jazz band, our wind ensemble, and our concert band. My personal favorite was probably the James Bond songs, where they went through each of the different James Bond movies. But I'm always impressed by our students, the talent of our students. We even had a student come out and dance for the last song of the evening. Prior to this meeting, we held the superintendent's listening hour. While a few parents attended from the community, we had a great conversation about many different topics. The last being our recent influx in vaping, or students being caught with vapes at the middle school. I know that Mr. Riccardi sent out a communication, or is sending a communication this week that speaks to that, amongst other things. And really our big request is, unfortunately, many of these students are possessing these devices at home, whether it be off the kitchen counter, off the dining room table, off the coffee table, wherever they're getting it from. But many of these students are acknowledging that they're in fact obtaining the devices at home and then bringing them into school. So our public service announcement is just to encourage anyone who has these devices within their homes to make sure they're secure, they're locked, and they're out of the reach of children. Our 5th and 6th graders are 10 and 11 years old, and certainly have should not have any access to these types of devices. We continue to work with our architects and engineers. Mr. Spittle and myself attended a meeting at KG&D, our architect's office, where we met with both the civil engineers as well as the HVAC engineers, going through sort of one final review of our plans. Our plans are up at State Ed right now, awaiting their approval. Once the plans are approved, we'll be beginning the bidding process, where we will put the project out there and hope to entice companies far and wide to submit a bid to complete that work. And we still remain hopeful that some of those companies will be able to mobilize and begin the work as early as this summer. Well, certainly not all of the work will be completed this summer. As you'll remember, with the first failed vote, that delayed the project significantly and put us off of our timeline to complete the work this summer. That forced us to add escalation costs back into the project. Yeah. And our hope is to get as much of it started as soon as possible to be able to refrain from needing to access those additional funds that we put in there for escalation. As Michael had mentioned, we have finished our budget review meetings. So Dr. Chan and myself are going to continue to work on developing the budget, and you'll be hearing more about it. And really, next meeting is sort of our full budget kickoff. I think it's our curriculum presentation. Is that correct? Okay. So our curriculum presentation with the 3 building principals will be here, and that'll really start our budget presentation season. Our high school, actually I think all 3 buildings have had lockdown drills recently. So we want to thank the law enforcement agencies who come out and participate in those drills. Great opportunity for them to get to know our staff, get to know our buildings, and get to know our protocols. And I appreciate them taking time out of their busy days to come and do so. I've attended several meetings, our chief school administrators meeting, a variety of Section 1 meetings around advocacy, athletic council, and we hosted earlier this week our culture and discipline committee meeting, which that work continues and probably will continue into next school year. We had our universal pre-K lottery. So 40 students were identified as being admitted. 19 students are currently on the wait list. So that is that's information has been communicated with those families, and we'll see of those 40 families how many complete the registration process and accept their positions, and how far down that wait list we end up going. Our public service announcement this time of year is for anyone with an incoming kindergartner, someone who will be 5 years of age by December 1st of 2026. I guess now it gets confusing now with UPK, there's different numbers. We encourage you to reach out to the elementary school and sign up for registration. We currently have 73 students registered, which is actually a higher number than we typically have this time of year. And we are hopeful for a very large kindergarten class to come in and take advantage of all Putnam Valley schools have to offer. Some upcoming events: PTA is their biggest fundraiser of the year. Their Pocketbook Bingo scheduled for tomorrow at Cortland Colonial. Doors open at 5:30. I don't know if there's tickets still available.
Yep.
There's tickets still available. So if you have not done so, you still have time. Our elementary school has their 4th grade winter concert next Wednesday, the 28th, at 7 p.m. High school has Honor Society inductions on February 4th at 7 p.m. and the high school blood drive Thursday, February 5th. And our Aspire celebration, celebrating a student artwork, is scheduled for Thursday, February 12th, the high school main hallway at 11 a.m. I'm looking forward to the unveiling because I have no idea who won and what the picture looks like. So I'm looking forward to it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Busy. Okay, new business. Mr. O'Leary, you want to start with number 1,
Yes.
please?
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to appoint Olivia Roman to a 4-year probationary term as a teaching assistant commencing on January 23rd, 2026, and terminating on January 22nd, 2030, in the teaching assistant 10-year area at the annual compensation of Step 1 of the CSEA salary schedule. Ms. Roman holds teaching assistant level 1 certification.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 2, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to appoint Jennifer Maroulis to a probationary appointment as a teacher aide effective January 23rd, 2026, with a probationary period of 52 weeks, January 22nd, 2027, at the elementary school on Step 1 of the CSEA salary schedule.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution passes. Number 3, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to accept the resignation of lunch monitor Jonathan Salerno from the district effective January 30th, 2026, as per document number 132/26, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution passes. Number 4, please.
Resolved on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools to approve the 2026-27 district calendar as per document number 128-26, attached to the agenda and official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Resolution passes. And we'll see if we can stick to the calendar. Okay. So I'd like to open it up for public comment on any topic.
You missed the consent agenda.
No, we did the consent agenda first.
Yeah, we did.
I missed it.
You want to hear it again?
There will be no public outcry.
Maureen even got a...
You have to come to the mic, give your name, and make a comment. Ms. Barros, can we please remove that gentleman from the...
That's her new role is the, okay. All right. Not seeing any public comment, I'd like to talk about upcoming meetings and topics. Dr. Luff mentioned the upcoming budget meetings, but anything else?
So February 12th is the next scheduled board meeting. That'll be our budget presentation for curriculum. And then the following meeting, February 26th, will be budget presentation, will be our facilities and special education presentations, 2 different ones.
Good.
Unless
Okay.
Melissa wants to do facilities as part of hers. Just think about it.
She's dying.
We'll get back to you.
Board member comments.
Just, I want to, again, thank Ryan Odell and also Dr. Massera for 2 outstanding concerts. I got to tell you, their diversity
Yep.
of music choices, it just wows you. It's amazing stuff. For me, I like the more contemporary things. I love the Bond thing. I love the Shady Grove. But the way they have motivated these young people to embrace the musical arts, really, we're so lucky to have them.
Great shows. Absolutely fantastic shows. Glad to see the building steering committee is continuing to go strong. I would say, just a little plug, it is a little bit challenging for parents, working parents, to be involved in those steering committees. I literally save all of my personal time just so I can sit on them, and sometimes I'm just not able to make it. And so maybe we can think about, I know we've done this before and it hasn't really been successful, but maybe creating a virtual option, if we're going to keep times during the day so that teachers can also be involved. I believe that's why we pivoted to during the day. There was more attendance from parents, and teachers were able to be involved, which is always great. The work that's happening on all of those committees is tremendous, so super exciting, but maybe there could be some sort of night option or virtual option for more families to be included and not have to take time off of work. That's it from me.
Okay. Anything else? We were going to talk about town board meetings, so I'm going on the 28th. The next one would be February 18th, and then March 18th, and April 15th, tax day, so.
I can do March. I could do March.
I can do April.
All right, wait a minute, Jeanette. And Crystal, you can do April?
I can do April.
I'm away in
15th.
February, so I cannot do February. But I could do the other ones.
Sam, can you do
You're
February?
away
I could do May.
Can you do February?
February? What?
February 18th.
Wait a minute. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, yep.
What time do they start again?
6.
And then I can do May.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Good.
So what did you say?
I'm
Sasha?
March.
You said March.
I'm
I can do
February.
May.
You can
So
do
it's
May.
Sam, Jeanette,
Sasha.
Crystal, Sasha.
Okay.
Okay.
What
And
day is
then
the
I'm
one in
up-
May?
May 20th?
Yep.
And then I can finish up in June, and then we'll see what
Start
happens
over.
after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to mention one other thing. Today, we had our Community That Cares meeting, and Jeanette, thank you for being there. We had one of the biggest crowds that we've had in a while, but I'd like to see a little bit more participation overall from community members as well. Anybody who might be interested in being a part of this, we have used parents, we have used students in the past, would be outstanding. We did a full range of discussions. Mr. McCarty was there, and he brought up the vaping issue that the county is definitely aware of, and they're trying to do everything they can to quell that. But again, a lot of it originates at home. So anybody interested, Community That Cares, CTC, it's part of the Putnam County organization. You just Community That Cares, and you can get all the information on the Putnam County site.
We used to have, I know when they first started, they asked the scouts to send a leader and the churches to send a leader, each
They
of
talked
them.
about that today.
Yeah. Maybe they need to reach out to those organizations again, too, so that the word, what you discuss there, then can be more effectively disseminated to other parts of the community. So.
Agreed.
Jeannie and Grace were also both at that meeting, and in fact, Sam brought up religious leaders, and Jeannie brought up scout leaders. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Be safe over
Good
the
night
weekend,
and be
everybody.
safe.